Welcome to Jeopardy, everyone.
This is Jeopardy! Today's contestant is Player One.
Yeah!
And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek.
Hey, Johnny, thank you. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You look eager to get underway, so let's get right into it. And we have one daily double awaiting you in these categories. The Bible. Countries by newspaper. Cats. Historic Munich. Under the Sea. And TV MDs. A lot of clues, a lot of categories. Player one. JD, Turk, and Dr. Cox have practiced on this series. Okay, Player one. Use the Wii remote or press the corresponding direction on the plus control pad, and then press the A button to... That's it. We return to you, Player one. Maria Bello and Sherry Stringfield are among the many who doctored up this long-running NBC show. It's Player one. That's correct. Select again. Doctors Lisa Cuddy and Allison Cameron have roamed Princeton Plainsboro Hospital with this acerbic title doc. Let's hear it, Player one. Good for you. Player one, pick again. Dr. Kavanaugh, the first name would give things away, was a Boston M.E. with a checkered past on this drama. Yes, Player one. We're talking about Crossing Jordan. Choose again, Player one. We dig forensic anthropologist Dr. Temperance Brennan on this Fox drama. It's Player one. Right. Please pick again, Player one. The fact that a cat can land upon its feet without injury gave rise to the myth that cats have this many lives. Okay, Player one. Correct. Player one, you pick again. The Korat breed from Thailand is usually this color of some Olympic medals. Yes, Player one. Sorry, that's wrong. Here's what we wanted. Silver. You again, Player one. The mass killing of cats in the 14th century helped spread this disease carried by rat fleas. Player one. No. Here's the correct response. Bubonic plague. Player one, back to you for our next selection. The Sydney Morning Herald, the Queensland Independent. Let's hear it, player one. Yes. Player one, back to you. The Shizuoka Shimbun, the Nikkan Ubejiho. Okay, player one. Good. Select again. Avanti, Il Messaggero. Player one. Correct. You get to pick again, player one. Haaretz, Ma'ariv. The correct response is Israel. Player one, pick again. Short-haired cats were derived from the Khafre cat, which was domesticated by this ancient civilization. Yes, player one. No, sorry. Here's the correct response. Egypt. Please pick again, player one. Jyllands-Posten, Politiken. Here's the response we were looking for. Denmark. Player one, back to you. We're flying past 10,000 feet on our way to this. The altitude we'll maintain en route, 35,000 feet. Let's hear it, player one. Yes. You again, player one. Here's Kelly from our Clue Crew with the clue.
Ledger lines are for notes that don't fit on the 5-line staff, like this note that can be shown one line below the treble staff or one line above the bass staff.
It's player one. No. Oh. Here's what we wanted. Middle C. Player one, you pick again, please. The modern Hebrew and Arabic alphabets consist only of this type of letter. Okay, player one. That's not it. Here's the response we were looking for. A consonant. We return to you, player one. On Munich's coat of arms, you'll find one of these religious figures who originally settled the city and gave it its name. Player one. Nope. The correct response is a monk. Choose again, player one. This Asian-named cat is produced by mating Siamese and Longhairs, and then selectively breeding them. Let's hear it, player one. No, that's not right. Here's the correct response. The Himalayan. Player one, back to you for our next selection. It's the South American national capital city that fits the category. Yes, player one. That is correct. We return to you, player one. Found in South Africa in 1905, this 3,106-carat diamond went to Amsterdam for cutting. It's player one. Hey, you're right. Good. Back on the plus side. You get to pick again, player one. As Rachel died bearing him, she called him Benoni, son of my suffering. His father Jacob used this name. Let's hear it, player one. Ooh, sorry. Here's what we were looking for. Benjamin. You again, player one. When the Jews of Persia are ordered killed, Mordecai puts on sackcloth accessorized with these. Okay, player one. Right. Player one, back to you for our next selection. In Luke, Jesus is tried both by Herod and by this Roman governor. Player one. Sorry, that's wrong. We're talking about Pilate. Choose again, player one. Munich's motto used to be Die Weltstadt mit Herz, the world city with this. It's player one. That is correct. Player one, you pick again. In 1634 and 1635, this deadly contagion devastated Munich, killing more than 1/3 of its residents. Yes, player one. Sorry. Here's the correct response. Bubonic plague. Player one, pick again. The Summer Olympics in Munich in this year were sadly marred by terrorism and tragedy. It's player one. Yeah! Good. Please pick again, player one. In the 16th century, Munich was a center of the German phase of this movement against Protestantism. Okay, player one. You are correct. Player one, back to you. The Jews held these people in low esteem, so they're made to look good in Luke. Yes, player one. Sorry, that's wrong. Here's what we wanted. The Samaritans. Here's the $1,000 clue for you. Answer. It's the Daily Double. You are in first place. Decide on your wager, player one. The clue. The first and second of these books cover the same period as 2 Samuel and 1 and 2 Kings. Yep. The Double Jeopardy round will begin right after this. Let's see what happens in Double Jeopardy with these categories awaiting the players. Calling all angels. Books and authors. Ouch. Suffixes. Sports legends. And world history. All right, if you're ready, it's Double Jeopardy time. In 2003, Mitch Albom had a #1 bestseller with The 5 People You Meet in Here. Player one? No. We're talking about heaven. Select again. In 1947, he published his first story collection, Dark Carnival. Fahrenheit 451 came 6 years later. Let's hear it, player one. You got it. Player one, back to you for our next selection. In Willa Cather's O Pioneers, the heroine, Alexandra Bergson, is of immigrant stock from this country. Yes, player one. Right. Player one, back to you. Answer, one of the Daily Double. And you're in the lead now. What'll it be? Here is your Daily Double clue. In 2007, his book, The Road, earned him a Pulitzer Prize and entry into Oprah's book club. Oh, no! Here's the correct response. Cormac McCarthy. You get to pick again, player one. James Michener's Centennial centers on a fictional town in this state. Let's hear it, player one. Good. Choose again, player one. Here's Kelly. She'll show you.
The Green Bay Packers maintain a replica of the office of this legendary coach known for his commitment to winning.
Player one. That's right. Way to go. Player one, pick again. In 1904, he became the first pitcher in the American League to throw a perfect game. An award is named for him. Okay, player one. Sorry. Here's what we were looking for. Cy Young. Player one, you pick again, please. Barry Bonds broke this man's home run record of 755. It's player one. No, that's not right. Here's the correct response. Hank Aaron. Select again. This 7-time Tour de France champ said the New York City Marathon was the hardest physical thing he'd ever done. Player one. That's correct. We return to you, player one. From 1984 to 1992, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, and this man won all the NBA's regular season MVP awards. Let's hear it, player one. Yeah! Right you are. You again, player one. In 1071, the Seljuk Turks, who practiced this religion, defeated the Byzantine army at the Battle of Manzikert. The correct response is Islam. Please pick again, player one. An economic crisis forced this Indonesian leader to resign on May 21, 1998, ending 32 years of autocratic rule. It's player one. That's not it. Here's the response we were looking for. Suharto. Select again. Around 2500 BC, the Harappan civilization sprung up around this river in Pakistan and northwestern India. Here's what we wanted. The Indus. Choose again, player one. The rheumatoid type of this is 3 times as common in women as in men. Okay, player 1. You got it. Please pick again, player 1. When these are less than 5 minutes apart and last about a minute, you're in labor, and the fun is just beginning. Yes, player 1. No. We're talking about contractions. Player 1, pick again. And I'll hand it off to Kelly.
Look out! A symbol depicting waves, a skull and crossbones, and a person fleeing warn that a device is a source of this.
Okay, player 1. Right. Player 1, back to you. Per the Major League Baseball injury report, Randy Johnson missed his last regular season start of 2006 due to back these. It's player 1. Here's the correct response. Spasms. You again, player 1. An amputee may suffer real pain from this ghostly type of limb. Player 1? No, sorry. The correct response is phantom. We return to you, player 1. A 3-letter suffix that forms the present participle of a verb, or before direct, an online banking group. Let's hear it, player 1. No. Here's what we were looking for. Ing. Player 1, you pick again, please. The suffix ose, O-S-E, is used to form the names of these, as in glucose and sucrose. Yes, player 1. Oh, sorry. Here's the response we were looking for. Sugars. Player 1, back to you for our next song. Pie Jesu, sung by this young Welsh lass with the voice of an angel, has sold millions worldwide. Player 1? Nope. Here's the correct response. Charlotte Church. You get to pick again, player 1. Answer, the second daily double, and you have the lead. How much are you going to wager, player 1? Here is your clue. This king of Aragon freed the Catalan serfs in 1486 and captured Granada in 1492. No, that's not right. Here's what we wanted. Ferdinand. Player 1, you pick a... Now in Poland, in 1361, this shipbuilding city became a member of the Hanseatic League. Yes, player 1. Nope. Here's the response we were looking for. Gdansk. We return to you, player 1. This suffix, as with ACR, or SYN, is from the Greek for name. It's player 1. No. Here's the correct response. Onim. You again, player 1. It follows hark in the first line of a 17th century hymn. Okay, player 1. Ooh, sorry. We're talking about The Herald Angels Sing. Please pick again, player 1. That every soul has one of these is not an article of faith, but St. Jerome says it is.
This is Jeopardy! And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek.
Thanks, Johnny. Welcome to Jeopardy, everyone. Good luck to you in the Jeopardy round. For this game, the categories are as follows. Colorful language. Which time zone? The solar system. World geography. Literary characters. And the Summer Olympics. Okay, let's get back into this. Player 1, you make the next. Vancouver, British Columbia. Let's hear it, player 1. Use the Wii remote or press the corresponding direction on the plus control pad. And then press the A button to... Sorry. Here's what we were looking for. The Pacific. Player 1, back to you for our next song. Santa Fe, New Mexico. Okay, player 1. That's correct. You've got some money again. You get to pick again, player 1. Omaha, Nebraska. Yes, player 1. You are correct. Player 1, pick again. Reno, Nevada. Player 1? Sorry, that's wrong. The correct response is Pacific. Choose again, player 1. Akron, Ohio. Let's hear it, player 1. Nope. Sorry. Here's the correct response. The Eastern. Player 1, back to you. This colorful name for the U.S. Army Special Forces comes from their unique hats. It's player 1. Sorry. That's wrong. Here's the correct response. The Green Berets. Select again. A California National Park is named for this tallest living type of tree. Okay, player 1. Sorry, that's wrong. Here's the correct response. The redwood. You again, player 1. This fastest of dogs is one of the oldest breeds. Its likeness appears on an ancient Egyptian tomb. Player 1? Yep. Player 1, back to you for... A karate kid may aspire to this high rank, kuroi obi in Japanese. It's player 1. Woo! Yeah, good. Player 1, pick again. Classified advertising section of the phone book listing subscribers by type of business. Let's hear it, player one. Yes. You get to pick again, player one. In December of 2006, NASA announced that water may have flowed on this planet's surface within the past decade. Yes, player one. Good. Please pick again, player one. In 1980, Hermes, one of these objects, came within 300,000 miles of the Earth. Let's hear it, player one. Correct. We return to you, player one. On October 10th, 1846, 17 days after the discovery of this planet, its largest moon, Triton, was discovered. Okay, player one. No, that's not right. We're talking about Neptune. Player one, you pick again. In July of 2005, scientists announced the discovery of Eris, a dwarf planet larger than Pluto, in this belt. It's player one. No, that's not right. Here's what we were looking for: the Kuiper Belt. Choose again, player one. These solar discharges, consisting of light, heat, and cosmic rays, may last up to an hour. Yes, player one. That's correct. Select again. It's the Daily Double. You are in the lead right now. Please select your wager, player one. All right, here's your clue. Ivan Petrovich Voynitsky is the title character of this 1899 Chekhov play. Nope. The correct response is Uncle Vanya. Player one, back to you. The invaders in this H.G. Wells novel are described as having tentacles and a peculiar V-shaped mouth. Player one? Good. Choose again, player one. Let's go to the Clue Crew for this next clue.
John Tenniel depicted this Lewis Carroll title character in 1865.
It's player one. Yes. We return to you, player one. In A Scandal in Bohemia and other early stories, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle gave this physician a wife, Mary Morstan. Okay, player one. Here's the response we were looking for. Dr. Watson. Player one, you pick again, please. It's Africa's highest mount that shares its name with a country. Let's hear it, player one. That is correct. Player one, pick again. This country's Grand Canal ends at the port of Hangzhou. Yes, player one. Ooh, sorry. That's incorrect. Here's what we wanted. China. Please pick again, player one. Jin Young Lee and Jinmun Park were members of this country's 2008 gold medal-winning baseball team. Player 1? No, sorry. Here's the correct response. South Korea. You again, Player 1. The 1972 games at this German city were the scene of terrorism and tragedy. It's Player 1. Hey, you're right. Player 1, back to you for different strokes. In 2008, Rebecca Soni won Olympic gold in 200-meter breaststroke. Natalie Coughlin in 100-meter this. Okay, Player 1. Yeah! Correct. Player 1, back to you. Paulistas live in a large city in this large South American country. Player 1? Right you are. You get to pick again, Player 1. You can enter this European city via the Puerta de Bisagra and its U.S. namesake via Exit 64 on the Ohio Turnpike. Let's hear it, Player 1. No. Oh! Here's what we wanted. Toledo. Select again. A platypus was one of the mascots of the 2000 games held in this city. Yes, Player 1. That's it. We return to you, Player 1. And here's Kelly.
Japan scored one of the biggest upsets in Olympic history in 2008, beating the U.S. to win the gold medal in this sport.
It's Player 1. Oh, sorry. We're talking about softball. Player 1, back to you. In A Christmas Carol, the ghost of this dead partner is the first spirit to visit Scrooge. Player 1? Yeah! That's right. Way to go. And we'll wrap up the board with this clue. Melbourne is in the Australian state named for this woman, a friend of Viscount Melbourne. Let's hear it, Player 1. Yes. The Double Jeopardy round will begin right after this. Categories for the Double Jeopardy round are Language Lab, I Resign, Salmon, Oscars Wilde, Shakespeare, and States of the Union. Let's get back into this now. You have control of the board. We liked her. We really liked her when this actress won for Places in the Heart in 1985. Okay, Player 1. Oh, no. The correct response is Sally Field. You get to pick again, Player 1. He's the SNL guy, and you're not, who opened the 1988 show with, "Good evening, Hollywood phonies." He never hosted again. Yes, Player 1. No. Oh! Here's what we were looking for. Chevy Chase. Player 1, you pick again, please. Disney sued the Academy for unflattering use of this character after a 1989 duet with her and Rob Lowe. It's player one. No, that's not right. Here's the response we were looking for. Snow White. Please pick again, player one. This American Beauty nominee nearly had a pregnant pause at the 2000 show. She was due with her fourth at any moment. Player one. Nope. Here's the correct response. Annette Bening. Choose again, player one. In 1992, proving he could keep up with the younger crowd, he did one-armed push-ups, accepting his City Slickers Oscar. Let's hear it, player one. Sorry, that's wrong. Here's the correct response. Jack Palance. Player one, pick again. You may know the name of this woman who left NASA in 1993 to go into the business of advanced technologies. Okay, player one. Sorry, that's wrong. We're talking about Mae Jemison. Player one, back to you. Douglas Hyde, also known as Ancrethan Ethan, fought to preserve this language and founded a league of the same name. Yes, player one. Nope. Sorry. Here's the correct response. Gaelic. You again, player one.
This is Jeopardy! And now,
The categories for the Jeopardy round are Monopoly, Literary Pets, Parts of Speech, Pop Culture, Out of This World, and Adventures in the Air. Player one, start us. While pointing the Wii remote at the... Let's take it over to Kelly.
Glasses with colored filters in each eye let you watch films in 3D. At the 2010 Grammys, the audience donned them for a montage from this performer's This Is It.
Okay, player one. Use the Wii remote or press the corresponding direction.
Woo!
Right. Select again. Hitting a speed of about 800 miles per hour, Chuck Yeager broke this barrier in October of 1947. It's player one. That's not it. Here's what we wanted. The sound barrier. You get to pick again, player one. In I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry, Kevin James weds this Hanukkah song guy at Niagara Falls. Yes, player one. That is correct. Please pick again, player one. Michael C. Hall of 6 Feet Under went to Showtime to play this homicidal title character. Player one. sorry. The correct response is Dexter Morgan. Player 1, back to you. A two-time Oscar-winning actress, one of her first jobs was as the Coppertone suntan lotion girl at age 3 in 1965. Let's hear it, Player 1. Right. Hey, you're on the plus side. Player 1, pick again. In 1964, he topped the pop music charts with the title song from Hello, Dolly. It's Player 1. Sorry, that's wrong. Here's the response we were looking for. Louis Armstrong. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. In 1909, Louis Blériot became the first person to fly in a plane over this between Great Britain and France. Player 1. Good for you. You again, Player 1. Taking 16 hours in 1919, British aviators Alcock and Brown became the first to cross this large body of water non-stop. Let's hear it, Player 1. Nope. Oh, no. Here's what we were looking for. The Atlantic Ocean. Choose again, Player 1. Answer, the Daily Double. And you have the lead. Give us a wager, Player 1. Answer this. August 1983 saw the first night launch of this reusable U.S. orbital vehicle. Correct. We return to you, Player 1. In 1907, Paul Cornu became the first man to fly freely in one of these horizontally rotored aircraft. Yes, Player 1. Sorry, that's wrong. Here's the correct response. A helicopter. Player 1, you pick again, please. The titled beast of his The Hound of the Baskervilles is actually the pet of Mr. Jack Stapleton. Okay, Player 1. We're talking about Arthur Conan Doyle. Select again. Harry Potter uses his snowy owl named this to transfer messages. It's Player 1. No, that's not right. The correct response is Hedwig. Choose again, Player 1. Marjorie Kinnan Rawlings' The Yearling centers on this type of pet. Player 1. No, sorry. Oh. Here's what we were looking for. A deer. Player 1, pick again. A poetic Eliot feline who has lived many lives in succession is named for this fifth book of the Old Testament. Yes, Player 1. No, sorry. Here's the response we were looking for. Deuteronomy. Select again. A railroad and an avenue are both named for this state. Let's hear it, Player 1. Nope. Here's the correct response. Pennsylvania. You get to pick again, player one. Tokens that are household items include the iron and this sewing accessory. Okay, player one. No, that's not right. Here's what we wanted. The thimble. Player one, back to you. Little Swan, Little Bear, and Greenfinch are some of the goats of this Johanna Spiri lass. It's player one. Here's the response we were looking for. Heidi. Player one, you pick again, please. So when you're happy, hooray, or sad, aw, or frightened, eek, or mad, rats. Hooray, aw, eek, rats. Okay, player one. That's correct. We return to you, player one. Like Pluto, Haumea and Makemake are designated as this kind of planet. Yes, player one. Yes. Player one, back to you for our... The comet named for him was last seen in the skies in 1986 and won't return until 2061. Let's hear it, player one. Oh, sorry. That's in... Here's what we were looking for. Edmund Halley. You again, player one. We know you're very smart, but are you smart enough to know? Very. Player one? No. Oh! The correct response is an adverb. Please pick again, player one. Not the first, but this second planet is the hottest because its atmosphere causes a severe greenhouse effect. It's player one. No. We're talking about Venus. Select again. I killed a man in Reno just to watch him die. In player one? Sorry, that's wrong. Here's the correct response. A preposition. You again, player one. Galileo was the first person to see the rings around this planet. Okay, player one. Yeah. That's correct. Player one, you pick again. The gravitational pull of this object is the main force holding the solar system together. Let's hear it, player one. That is correct. Player one, back to you for our next selection. A classic PBS Kids series that taught reading shared its name with this Monopoly utility. Yes, player one. Yes. We return to you, player one. Each time a player passes go, he collects this salary. Player one. Sorry. Here's what we wanted. $200. Choose again, player one. A question mark is on the space in which you draw one of these cards. Yes, player 1. Yep. Player 1, pick again. Rodney Dangerfield said, "When I was born, I was so ugly, the doctor slapped my mother." Ugly. Let's hear it, player 1. That's right. Way to go. And we'll wrap up the board with this clue. Dream when you're feeling blue. Dream. That's the thing to do. Dream. Okay, player 1. Yeah, good. The Double Jeopardy round will begin right after this. We start the double... All right, if you're ready, it's Double Jeopardy time. Born William Claude Dukenfield, he took this last name as his stage name. It's player 1. Sorry, that's wrong. Here's the correct response. Fields. Please pick again, player 1. Kathy Lewis was this title character paired with Fibber McGee on a 50s TV show based on a hit radio show. Let's hear it, player 1. That is correct. You get to pick again, player 1. Rochester. Did you know that in 1953, Harry Shearer played this comic as a boy on his self-titled TV program? Yes, player 1. That's not it. We're talking about Jack Benny. Player 1, back to you. In vaudeville, Jerry, Helen, Josephine, and George M. were the four these. Player 1. Woo! Right you are. Please pick again, player 1. Dance style of Brothers and Kennedy Center honorees Fayard and Harold Nicholas. It's player 1. That's it. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. A 6-mile-wide caldera or volcanic crater is a highlight of La Palma in this Spanish island group off Africa. Okay, player 1. Correct. You're out of the hole. We return to you, player 1. Here's Kelly with the clue.
Made from minerals deposited by dripping water, these geological formations grow up from cavern floors.
It's player 1. Oh, nope. Sorry. Here's the correct response. Stalagmites. You again, player 1. This rock can be formed by the accumulation of shells or coral, but not from citrus fruit. Yes, player 1. Good. Yeah. On the plus side again. Choose again, player 1. Geysers aren't common. Major centers include Yellowstone, Iceland, and this country's North Island. Let's hear it, player one. No, sorry. Here's what we were looking for. New Zealand. Player one, back to you. The Mercalli scale measures the intensity of these from 1 to 12. Player one? Nope. The correct response is earthquakes. Player one, you pick again, please. Kelly will present this clue.
In Spanish spelling, this mark above the N indicates that rather than una, the word should be pronounced uña.
Okay, player one. Sorry, that's wrong. Here's the response we were looking for. Matilda. You get to pick again, player one. In The Taming of the Shrew, she's courted by 3 men. Let's hear it, player one. No, that's not right. Here's what we wanted. Bianca. Player one, pick again. At the end of Much Ado About Nothing, Benedict quiets this love of his with a kiss. Okay, player one. Nope. Sorry. Here's the correct response. Beatrice. Select again. Let's get Kelly's assistance on this clue.
The cartouche seen here denotes this emperor, the ruler of Heliopolis.
Player one. Yes. Player one, you pick again, please. He was crowned emperor on Christmas Day 800. It's player one. That's not it. Here's the response we were looking for. Charlemagne. Select again. All right, here with the clue is Kelly.
The gesture here typically accompanies this common Indian greeting, from Sanskrit for to bow.
Yes, player one. Nope. We're talking about namaste.
This is Jeopardy! And now,
The categories are Washington, Lincoln, or Obama. Arachnids. Canada, Mexico, or the United States. Ain't we got pun? In the bookstore. And Meet the Robinsons. Player one, you start us off. Select a clue by pointing the Wii remote at the screen and pressing the A button. The Teammates by David Halberstam chronicles the friendships of Ted Williams and others on this team. It's player one. Use the Wii remote or press the corresponding direction on the plus control pad. and then press. You got it. You get to pick again, player one. John Grisham switched gears with Skipping This Holiday, about a couple who want to skip the consumerism. Okay, player one. No. Any other takers? Let's hear it, player three. Right. Choose again, player three. The Devil in the White City examines murder, magic, and madness at the 1893 World's Fair in this U.S. city. Yes, player one. No. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Player three? Right. Please pick again, player three. Answer, it's the Daily Double. You are currently in the lead. How much? Okay, here is the clue. In a Stephen King book, writer Paul Sheldon is weary of this title heroine he created. You are still in first place, though. The correct response is Misery. Player three, back to you. Appropriately, part 3 of this 1953 novel is Burning Bright. Yes, player one. Sorry, that's wrong. Anyone else? Here's what we wanted. Fahrenheit 451. Player three, pick again. In 1947, he shattered baseball's color line. Player one? You are correct. We return to you, player one. The largest in area. Let's hear it, player one. Oh, sorry. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Here's the correct response. Canada. You again, player one. It's 90% Catholic. It's player one. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Here's the correct response. Mexico. Player one, back to you for our next selection. Ruled by an emperor from 1864 to 1867. Okay, player one. Hey, you're right. Player one, back to you. It has 2 official languages. Player one? Yeah. Good. Player one, back to you. The most populous. Okay, player one. Yeah. Good for you. Great, you're back into it now. You get to pick again, player one. Was born a British subject. It's player one. Right. You again, player one. The tallest. Yes, player one. Sorry. Anyone else? Let's hear it, player three. Yes. Select again. Never lived in Illinois. Player one? Yeah. Yes. Player one, pick again. Went to Occidental College and Columbia University. Okay, player one. You got it. Player one, you pick again, please. Received a patent. Here's what we were looking for. Abraham Lincoln. Choose again, player one. Punning on Glenn Miller, a 1985 film with Gina Davis as a vampire was called This 65000. Yes, player one. Good for you. Please pick again, player one. 8 months pregnant, Jolie Fisher did a cabaret act entitled From Here to This. It's player one. Sorry, that's wrong. Any other takers? Here's the response we were looking for. Maternity. We return to you, player one. About comparing a pair of Beatles, a punchline in Master and Commander is, choose the lesser of two these. Let's hear it, player one. Ooh, sorry. That's incorrect. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Okay, player three. That is correct. Player three, you pick again, please. A scholarly paper on punning restaurant names was titled Do Drop In and This Vegetable Entertain You. Let's hear it, player one. No, that's not right. Any other takers? Here's the correct response. Lettuce. Choose again, player three. A presidential exhibit at the National Postal Museum was called This to the Chief. Yes, player one. No. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Here's what we wanted. Male. Please pick again, player three. Like a famous mister of song, it was the nickname of tap dancer Bill Robinson. Player one. Sorry, that's wrong. Anyone else? The correct response is Bojangles. Player three, back to you for our next selection. This Motown legend co-wrote My Girl, and Tears of a Clown. It's player one. That's right. Way to go. We return to you, player one. In 1951, he defeated Jake LaMotta to become middleweight boxing champ. Let's hear it, player one. Good. You get to pick again, player one. Emmanuel Goldenberg was the real name of the Robinson who used this first name on the stage. Okay, player one. That is correct. You again, player one. Arachnids are a major class of this phylum that includes insects and crustaceans. Yes, player one. Yes. Player one. Pick again. Also known as the harvest man, this spindly arachnid differs from spiders in that it has only a single body segment. It's player one. Right. Player one, back to you. At least two types of poison are known to be injected by its tail stinger, hemotoxin and neurotoxin. Player one? No. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? We're talking about a scorpion. Select again. Texas cattle fever is one of many diseases transmitted by the bite of this type of blood-sucking arachnid. It's player one. That's correct. And we'll wrap up the board with this clue. This large, hairy type of spider takes its name from an Italian town. Okay, player one. Right. Player two is in third place, which means, of course, player two will select first in Double Jeopardy. Clues are worth $400 to $2,000 in these categories. Conductors. This and That. U.S. History. Not nominated for Best Picture. B+. And Be Fruitful and Multiply. Let's get back into this now. You have control of the board. In September of 1916, during World War I's Battle of the Somme, the British rolled out this new weapon. Yes, player one. Right you are. Player one, back to you. In concerts, Stokowski would dramatically toss these aside to show that he could conduct from memory. Let's hear it, player one. Sorry, that's wrong. Any other takers? Here's what we were looking for. Scores. Player one, you pick again. Marin Alsop made news in 2005 as the first one of these to lead a major American symphony orchestra. Player one. Oh, sorry. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Here's the correct response. A woman. Choose again, player 1. On CDs with Canada's National Arts Centre Orchestra, Pinchas Zuckerman conducts and plays this. It's player 1. No. Anyone else? Let's hear it, player 3. No, that's not right. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Yes, player 2. Hey, you're right. We return to you, player 2. Willem Mengelberg and Edward van Bynum have been chief conductors of this city's Concertgebouw. Player 1? Anyone else? Okay, player 3. No, sorry. Any other takers? It's player 2. Good. Player 2, back to you for our next selection.
Yeah!
Answer, the first of the daily doubles. You are in the lead right now. What are you going to wager? And the clue. An 1831 play by Pushkin recounts an alleged rivalry between Mozart and this composer. Even so, you are still in the lead. Here's the response we were looking for. Antonio Salieri. Select again. Bogey and Hepburn floated across the screen in this 1951 film that pleased audiences and critics, but not the Academy. Yes, player 1. Nope. Sorry. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Player 2. That's it. You get to pick again, player 2. You couldn't drag a Best Picture nomination out of the Academy for this 1959 Billy Wilder film. Well, nobody's perfect. Let's hear it, player 1. That's not it. Anyone else? Okay, player 3. You are correct. Please pick again, player 3. The Academy must have been out to lunch not nominating this 1961 Audrey Hepburn-George Peppard film. Let's hear it, player 1. Right. You've got some money again. You again, player 1. Driving Miss Daisy won for 1989, the year this Spike Lee film about urban racism was passed over. Yes, player 1. Ooh, sorry. That's incorrect. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Here's what we wanted. Do the right thing. Player 1, pick again. 33 times 33 equals this. Okay, player 1. No, that's not right. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Here's the correct response. 1,089. We return to you, player 1. 17 times 2 times 6 equals this. Player 1? Nope. Any other takers? It's player 2.
Woo!
Correct. Select again. Multiply 5 times 5 times 5 to get this. Okay, player 1. That's correct. Please pick again, player 1. In 1954, this Jimmy Stewart and Grace Kelly starer from Alfred Hitchcock didn't get a second glance. Let's hear it, player 1. No. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? It's player 3.
Yeah.
Correct. You're out of the hole. Choose again, player 3. Officially adopted in 1919, the Polish flag is made up of red and this color, just like Switzerland's. Yes, player 1.
Oh!
Sorry, that's wrong. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Player 3? No. Anyone else? Let's hear it, player 2. Yep. Player 2. Pick again. New York City Mayor John V. Lindsay quipped that it enables young ladies to run faster, and because of it, they may have to. It's player 1. Sorry. Any other takers?
This is Jeopardy! And now,
Player 1, you start. You can point the Wii remote at the screen. Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Chevy Chase were these title characters of a 1986 comedy. Player 1, use the Wii remote or press the corresponding direction on the... Good. You again, player 1. In Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Steve Martin told him, "Those aren't pillows." Okay, player 1.
Yeah.
Right. Player 1, you pick again, please. This 1987 comedy in which Steve played Fire Chief C.D. Bales was based on Cyrano de Bergerac. Yes, player 1.
Yeah.
That's right. Way to go. Player 1, back to you. Steve Martin and Bonnie Hunt are the parents of an extremely large brood in this 2003 remake. Okay, player 1.
Woo.
Right. You get to pick again, player one. Queen Latifah wreaks havoc on the life of straight-laced lawyer Steve Martin in this 2003 comedy. It's player one. That is correct. Player one, back to you for our next selection. Let's go over to Kelly.
A nursery rhyme says, this person, mend my shoe. Get it done by 2:30.
Let's hear it, player one. No, sorry. The correct response is cobbler. We return to you, player one. It's the spicy two-word name for a type of knot that lets you join a rope to a rail or a post. Yes, player one. Sorry, that's wrong. Here's what we were looking for. A clove hitch. Player one, back to you. His father, James O'Neill, was a 19th century actor whose most famous role was the Count of Monte Cristo. Player one. Sorry. We're talking about Eugene O'Neill. Select again. These animals of the order Chiroptera are the only mammals that can truly fly. Okay, player one. Right. You again, player one. This feisty tie fish blows sticky bubbles to make a nest, then puts the eggs in its mouth and blows them in the nest. It's player one.
Oh,
Sorry,
no.
that's wrong. Here's the correct response. Fighting fish. Choose again, player one. It's the Daily Double. And you're in the lead now. So what's your wager? Answer. Muskrats and woodrats belong to this order of mammals. Here's the response we were looking for. Rodentia. Player one, pick again. Here's Kelly.
If you see one of these under the sea, look but don't touch. The spines can be poisonous.
Let's hear it, player one. Good. Great, you're back into it now. Player one, back to you. Fruit and lizards, yum, are favorite foods of the coati, also known by this longer name. Player one. Nope.
Oh.
Here's the correct response. The coatimundi. You get to pick again, player one. Most U.S.-produced olive oil comes from this state, so watch out, you dancing raisins. Yes, player one. Ooh, sorry. That's incorrect. We're talking about California. Please pick again, player one. It's pure and delicious. The oil that's the cold-pressed result of the first pressing of olives is extra this. Let's hear it, player one. No, that's not right. Here's what we wanted. Virgin. Player one, you pick again, please. Kelly?
Shown here on the upper right, it changed its name in 1935.
It's player one. Nope. Here's the correct response. Iran. Please pick again, player 1. Until 1975, it was the Malagasy Republic. Yes, player 1. No. Here's what we were looking for. Madagascar. Player 1, you pick again. This LA Area Institute's famed olive walk is harvested for olive oil named for the school. Player 1? No. The correct response is Caltech. Select again. A 1934 New York City taxi driver's strike led him to write Waiting for Lefty, the first of his plays to be produced. Okay, player 1. Yes. You again, player 1. This Shakespeare contemporary is remembered for Dr. Faustus and for getting stabbed to death. Player 1? Yes. Player 1, back to you. This Pulitzer Prize-winning playwright was related to John Sevier, the first governor of the volunteer state. Okay, player 1. Sorry, that's wrong. Here's the response we were looking for. Tennessee Williams. We return to you, player 1. Until 1972, it was Ceylon. It's player 1. Yep. Player 1, back to you. It was the Khmer Republic from 1970 until 1975. Let's hear it, player 1.
Yeah.
That's correct. Choose again, player 1. Here's a pH test. All olive oils are graded in accordance with the degree of this they contain. Lower is better. Yes, player 1. No, that's not right. Here's what we wanted. Acidity. You get to pick again, player 1. Used before barrel, it suggests the homespun style and philosophy of rural folk. Player 1?
Woo!
Yeah, good. Player 1, pick again. This Greek dish of lamb marinated in olive oil and spices, grilled and skewered, gets its name from the Greek for skewer. Okay, player 1. That's not it. Here's what we were looking for. Souvlaki. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. It was Siam until 1939. Yes, player 1.
Yeah.
Yes. Select again. Public disgust over his play Ghosts caused this Norwegian to retaliate in his An Enemy of the People. It's player 1. No.
Oh!
The correct response is Henrik Ibsen. Player 1. You pick again, please. In 1966, the U.S. government banned M80s and these round red firecrackers. Let's hear it, player one.
Yeah.
Good. And we'll wrap up the board with this clue. Breakfast dish that can also mean to flatten. Yes, player one. You got it. The Double Jeopardy round will begin right after this. And we have 2 daily doubles awaiting you in these categories: art and artists, biology, world facts, 1960s TV, ends in U, and your history. Let's get back into this now. You have first aired on September 30th, 1963. Opie the Birdman has become a classic episode of this sitcom. Player one?
Yeah.
Correct. Player one, pick again. The never-used lyrics of its theme song were written by Gene Roddenberry. It's player one. That's it. On the plus side again. Player one, back to you. On The Addams Family, Ted Cassidy played not only Lurch, but this disembodied hand as well. Let's hear it, player one. No, sorry. We're talking about Thing. We return to you, player one. On August 29th, 1967, he finally caught up with the one-armed man. Okay, player one. That's correct. Hey, you're on the plus side. You get to pick again, player one. Answer. The first of the 2 daily doubles. You are in first place. Please enter your wager. All right, here's your clue. In 1964, Mary Tyler Moore won her first Emmy as this new Rochelle housewife. You are correct. Choose again, player one. This telegraph inventor's notable portraits included those of the Marquis de Lafayette and William Cullen Bryant. Player one? Nope. Sorry. Here's the correct response. Samuel Morse. You again, player one. Picasso painted this work as a protest against the bombing of a town in the Spanish Civil War. Let's hear it, player one. No, that's not right. Here's the correct response. Guernica. Please pick again, player one. One of his last paintings before his 1903 death in the South Pacific was a landscape of Brittany in winter. Yes, player one.
Oh, no.
We're talking about Paul Gauguin. Player one, back to you. Here's Kelly.
This American's illustration of the whitewashing scene from Tom Sawyer was featured on a 1972 stamp.
Okay, player one. Good for you. And you're back into some money. We return to you, player one. In her 1949 painting, Diego and I, Diego Rivera is depicted on her forehead. It's player one. That is correct. Please pick again, player 1. This fighter for a woman's right to vote died in 1906, 14 years before the 19th Amendment made her dream a reality. Yes, player 1. Here's the correct response. Susan B. Anthony. Player 1, pick again. This future U.S. president graduated from West Point in 1915, 61st in a class of 164. It's player 1. No, sorry. Here's what we were looking for. Dwight D. Eisenhower. Choose again, player 1. In 45 BC, this Roman's army defeated the 2 sons of Pompey. It would be his final battle. Here's what we wanted. Julius Caesar. You again, player 1. Hold the phone, said Elisha Gray and Thomas Edison, who both sued this Scottish-born inventor and lost. Player 1. Nope. The correct response is Alexander Graham Bell. You get to pick again, player 1. Both Roy Orbison and Linda Ronstadt sang about a blue one. Okay, player 1. Correct. Player 1, back to you for our next. An Eastern spiritual leader or a recognized leader in a field. Let's hear it, player 1. No, that's not right. Here's the response we were looking for. A guru. Select again. These Bantu-speaking people make up the largest language group in the Republic of South Africa. Player 1. Sorry. Here's the correct response. The Zulu. Player 1, you pick again. Mount Shikara in these mountains is the highest peak in Georgia. The country, not the state. Yes, player 1. That's not it. Here's what we were looking for. The Caucasus. You get to pick again, player 1. One of the subdivisions of biology is this science, dealing with the naming and classification of organisms. Okay, player 1. Sorry, that's wrong. Here's the response we were looking for. Taxonomy. Please pick again, player 1. Hordes of people know that Ulaanbaatar is this ancient Asian nation's capital. Let's hear it, player 1. Sorry, that's wrong. The correct response is Mongolia.
This is Jeopardy!
Player 1, you're in command of the board. In an animated 1987 TV special, this space-age family traveled back in time to meet the Flintstones. It's player 1. Use the Wii remote or press the corresponding direct... Nope. Sorry. Here's what we wanted. The Jetsons. Player 1, back to you. In the pilot for this 60s sitcom, Jed and Jethro first meet Mr. Drysdale when he comes to get them out of jail. Okay, Player 1. Right you are. Good. Back on the plus side. Player 1, you pick a... The 1973 TV season gave us Richard Roundtree as this super cool private eye he'd played on film. Let's hear it, Player 1. Ooh, sorry. That's in... Here's the correct response. Shaft. Player 1, pick a... According to his theme song, Mr. This will never speak unless he has something to say. It's Player 1. Oh, sorry. We're talking about Ed. You again, Player 1. In the 50s, this movie Tarzan was still hanging out with a chimp, but he wore more than a loincloth as TV's Jungle Jim. Yes, Player 1. No. Here's the correct response. Johnny Weissmuller. Choose again, Player 1. Marvin Hagler was Marvelous Marvin. Tom Seaver was nicknamed Tom This. Player 1. Hey, you're right. Player 1, back to you for our... As an adjective, it means very impressive. As a noun, it's a lavish production. Let's hear it, Player 1. No. Here's what we wanted. Spectacular. We return to you, Player 1. The bird Ardea herodias isn't just any blue heron, it's this blue heron. It's Player 1. Yes. Select again. It can mean far better than average or not yet settled like an unpaid debt. Yes, Player 1. That's correct. We return to you, Player 1. Also known as a cathode, it's the car battery terminal with a plus sign. Player 1. Yes. Select again. The giant Pacific This may have as many as 1,600 suckers on its arms. They help it to taste and touch. Okay, Player 1. No. We're talking about the octopus. Please pick again, Player 1. The rare white alligator has a condition called leucism, meaning it lacks this skin pigment. Let's hear it, Player 1. Sorry, that's wrong. Here's the correct response. Melanin. You again, Player 1.
Woo!
Answer? The Daily Double. And you have the lead. So, what's your wager? Answer this. A type of this snake that sounds like a James Clavell novel is Australia's deadliest and most feared. Nope. Sorry. Here's the correct response. The taipan. Choose again, Player 1. Doggone it, a mud puppy isn't a little doggy, but a large one of these amphibians. It's player one. Sorry, that's wrong. Here's what we were looking for: a salamander. You get to pick again, player one. On sheet music, this sign identifies the second line of the staff as the G above middle C. Yes, player one.
Yeah!
Correct. Player one, back to you. The name of this section of an orchestra comes from the Latin for a beating. Okay, player one. Good. Player one, back to you. Here's Kelly from our Clue Crew with the clue.
The guitarist here is playing one of these, defined as a combination of 3 or more notes.
Player one. That's correct. Player one, pick again. You may have studied these Chopin pieces whose name is French for studies. Let's hear it, player one. Right. Player one, you pick a... Rachmaninoff wrote one on a theme of Paganini. Gershwin wrote one in blue. Okay, player one. Oh, sorry. Here's the response we were looking for: a rhapsody. Select again. While it doesn't breathe fire, the dragon named for this Indonesian island does kill its prey with its deadly saliva. It's player one. Oh, sorry. The correct response is the Komodo. Please pick again, player one. Regent's Park was a hunting ground for this 16th century king who never hunted without tiring 8 or 10 horses. Yes, player one. Nope. Here's what we wanted: Henry VIII. Player one, pick again. Arthur Wellesley, the first Duke of this, was known as a soldier, but had an eye for art, as you can see at Apsley House. Player one? No. The correct response is Wellington. Choose again, player one. According to Shakespeare, these conflicts began with a confrontation in the Temple Gardens. Yes, player one. Sorry, that's wrong. Here's the response we were looking for: the Wars of the Roses. Player one, you pick again, please. Appropriately, the official state cantata of Connecticut has this spicy name. Let's hear it, player one. Nope. Here's what we were looking for: nutmeg. Player one, back to you. The syringa, also known as the mock orange, is Idaho's official state this. It's player one.
Yeah!
Hey, you're right. Player one, back to you. Sounds scary, but Colorado's official state fish is the greenback cutthroat type of this. Player one. No, that's not right. We're talking about the trout. We return to you, player one. When Virginia got a state one of these animals, the governor's office released a poem that mentioned Adam West. Okay, player one. You are correct. You again, player one. It reigns as West Virginia's official state butterfly. Yes, player one. That is correct. You get to pick again, player one. You can visit several of these historic structures like Kensington and Buckingham. It's player one. Yes. And we'll wrap up the board with this clue. Famous men who orated at Hyde Park's Speaker's Corner include Friedrich Engels and this 1848 Engels co-author. Okay, player one. Here's the correct response. Karl Marx. The Double Jeopardy round will begin right after this. Let's see what happens. All right, you're ready. It's Double Jeopardy time. This cup representing Canadian football supremacy was donated by the descendant of a tea namesake. Let's hear it, player one. No. Here's the correct response. The Grey Cup. Player one, back to you. He caught the catch on January 10th, 1982. Player one. Ooh, sorry. That's incorrect. Here's what we were looking for. Dwight Clark. Player one, back to you for our next song. To see this NFL team's home games at FedEx Field, take a shuttle bus from the Landover Metro stop. Yes, player one. That's not it. Here's the correct response. Washington Redskins. We return to you, player one. Here's Kelly. She'll show you.
In this type of trick play, the quarterback hands off to a running back, who hands off to a tight end going in the opposite direction.
Okay, player one. You got it. Player one, pick again. This Cowboys wide receiver of the 1990s entered the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2007. Let's hear it, player one. Sorry, that's wrong. Here's the correct response. Michael Irvin. You get to pick again, player one. Eat a salad with this vegetable that can be classified as butterhead, crisp head, leaf, or romaine. Player one. No, that's not right. Here's the response we were looking for. Lettuce. You again, player one. This pigment in blood transports oxygen. It's player one. No. Here.
This is...
Player one, where do we start? While pointing the Wii remote at the screen, Cohen and Greenfield are the last names of the co-founders of this company that created Cherry Garcia ice cream. Let's hear it, player one. Use the Wii remote or press the corresponding direction on the plus control pad. Sorry. The correct response is Ben and Jerry's. Select again. Two snuggly cute characters in Avenue Q aren't called the Bad News These, but the Bad Idea These. Okay, player one. Good. Great, you're back into it now. Please pick again, player one. Many of this Jonathan Larson musical's famous fans have gone backstage to add their names to a long graffiti wall. It's player one. Sorry, that's wrong. We're talking about Rent. Choose again, player one. Spring Awakening is an alt-rock musical based on an 1891 play that Frank Wedekind originally wrote in this language. Yes, player one. Right. Good. Back on the plus side. Player one, you pick again. It's the Daily Double. You are in the lead right now. How much are you going to wager, player one? The clue. Fantasia of American Idol played the role of Celie in The Color This. Good for you. Player one, back to you. Huey Lewis, Harry Hamlin, and George Hamilton have all been tapped to play tap-dancing lawyer Billy Flynn in this musical. Player one? Right you are. You again, player one. Melbourne's Princess Theatre boasts the ghost of a singer who died after playing this devilish role in Faust. Yes, player one. That's right. Way to go. Please pick again, player one. Kelly?
A ghost known as the Black Phantom used to appear in a mirror at the Empire Theater in this port city, Ringo Starr's hometown.
Let's hear it, player one. That's it. Player one, pick again. The lady in blue seen in this Scottish city's Royal Lyceum Theatre may be the actress Ellen Terry. Okay, player one. Correct. Player one, back to you. The man in this drab color who haunts the Drury Lane Theatre may be the ghost of a man found bricked up in a wall there. It's player one. Here's the response we were looking for. Gray. Select again. Le Petit Théâtre du Vieux Carré in this U.S. city has several ghosts, including that of an actress who fell to her death. Player one? Nope. Here's the correct response. New Orleans. Player one, you pick again. Heterohelix is the English variety of this climbing plant. It's player one. No. Oh! Here's what we were looking for. Ivy. You get to pick again, player one. The red type of this marsupial can leap over barriers as high as 6 feet. Okay, player one.
Yeah.
That is correct. Choose again, player 1. This class of animals includes frogs and toads. Let's hear it, player 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. We return to you, player 1. The hare named for this country between France and the Netherlands is actually a rabbit. Player 1? No, sorry. The correct response is Belgium. Player 1, you pick again. A grasshopper shares the billing with one of these insects in the title of an Aesop fable. Yes, player 1. Yep. You again, player 1. This tiny insect pest, Pulex irritans, can leap more than 130 times its own height. Player 1? Right. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. Though it started with just 31 flavors, this chain now has more than 1,000, including SPF 31. Yes, player 1. No, sorry. Here's the correct response. Baskin Robbins. Player 1, pick again. This treat gets its name because a certain fruit is cut lengthwise and then topped with ice cream, nuts, and whipped cream. Let's hear it, player 1. Yes. We return to you, player 1. This 3-flavored ice cream is named for an Italian city. It's player 1. You are correct. Player 1, back to you. Many claim to have invented these. One man made them from waffles at the 1904 St. Louis World's Fair. Okay, player 1. That's not it. We're talking about ice cream cones. Choose again, player 1. The male of this wild goat of the Alps has backward curving horns that may be as long as it is tall. Let's hear it, player 1. Hey, you're right. Please pick again, player 1. It's a list of places to be visited on a journey. Player 1? No, that's not right. Here's what we wanted. An itinerary. You get to pick again, player 1. Roger that, Houston. The rocket engines have reached this point of firing to life. Yes, player 1.
Yeah.
Good. Select again. Let's go over to Kelly.
In monozygotic, or this type of twins, the genetic makeup of each twin is exactly the same.
It's player 1. That's correct. Player 1, pick again. After General Cornwallis surrendered at Yorktown, this American traitor accompanied him back to England. Okay, player 1.
Yeah.
That's right. Way to go. You again, player 1. In 1898, Americans were urged to remember the battleship named for this state. It sank in Havana Harbor. Player 1? Nope. We're talking about Maine. Please pick again, player 1. This January 1st, 1863 document liberated all slaves in regions still under Confederate control. Okay, player one. Yes. Choose again, player one. The New Deal refers to the economic recovery and social reforms implemented by this U.S. president. Yes, player one. No. Here's the correct response. Franklin Roosevelt. And now the $1,000 clue. In 1609, this captain was injured in a gunpowder explosion and lost his leadership role in Jamestown. It's player one. Sorry. The correct response is John Smith. The Double Jeopardy round will begin right after this. Clues are worth. Let's get back into this now. You have control of the board. Never let me go. You have made my life complete, and I love you so. Let's hear it, player one. Good for you. You get to pick again, player one. Warden said, "Hey, buddy, don't you be no square. If you can't find a partner, use a wooden chair." Yes, player one. Yeah, good. Player one, you pick again. If you can't come around, at least please telephone. Let's hear it, player one. Yes. We return to you, player one. Ooh, 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 I feel my temperature rising. Help me, I'm flaming. I must be 109. Okay, player one. Good. Player one, back to you. No such number, no such zone. Player one. No. Here's what we were looking for. Return to sender. Select again. Some consider the Hannibal variety of these made from 100% Havana seed leaf the world's finest. It's player one. That's it. Player one, back to you. Bags of this leafy vegetable from Natural Selection Foods were at the center of a September 2006 E. coli outbreak. Okay, player one. Sorry, that's wrong. Here's the correct response. Spinach. Please pick again, player one. Like humans, leaves have an exterior epidermis and an interior arrangement of these vascular tissues. Let's hear it, player one. Sorry, that's wrong. Here's the response we were looking for. Veins. We return to you, player one. In 1917 and 1918, Ontario's Billy Bishop claimed 72 aerial victories as an ace in this war. It's player one. Right. Choose again, player one. Toronto-born journalist Morley Safer began co-hosting this TV news magazine way back in 1970. Player one? That is correct. Player one, back to you. Here's Kelly to start us off.
This mariner's 16th century explorations of the Gulf of St. Lawrence laid the basis for French claims to Canada.
Here's what we wanted. Jacques Cartier. You get to pick again, player one. Co-discoverer of this pancreatic hormone, Ontario's Frederick Banting won a 1923 Nobel Prize. Yes, player one. Nope. Sorry. Here's what we were looking for. Insulin. Player one, you pick again, please. This Nova Scotia man founded a famous line of ships in 1838. Okay, player one. Ooh, sorry. That's incorrect. Here's the response we were looking for. Samuel Cunard. Select again. Treasury Secretary Timothy Geithner. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. It's player one. No, that's not right. We're talking about Barack Obama. Player one, pick again. Secretary of State Dean Rusk. Both JFK and him. Yes, player one. That's correct. Player one, back to you. Secretary of Education William Bennett. Secretary of State George Shultz. The correct response is Ronald Reagan. You again, player one. Secretary of Labor George Shultz. Attorney General John Mitchell. Let's hear it, player one. Right. Please pick again, player one.
Yeah!
Answer. The first of the daily doubles. You are currently in the lead. Give us a wager, player one. Answer. Secretary of the Interior James R. Garfield. Secretary of War William Howard Taft. That is correct. Choose again, player one. The Macrocystis genus of this seaweed can grow fronds up to 200 feet long. Player one.
Woo!
Yep. Player one, back to you. This fragrant leaf of the laurel tree is sold commercially as a seasoning. Okay, player one. You got it. Player one, you pick again, please. Answer. The other daily double. And you're in the lead now. Please select your wager, player one. And the clue. News blank photography. Correct. Select again. Fall by the blank in. Player one.
Yeah!
Right. We return to you, player one. Break the blank of America. Let's hear it, player one. Right you are. You get to pick again, player one. Hi-oh blank wedding anniversary. Here's the correct response. Silver. You again, player one. Write up your blank oop. Here's the correct response. Alley. Player one, pick again. At the burning bush, God told him he was the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Yes, player one. Correct. Player one, back to you. Goliath mocked him, saying, Am I a dog that thou comest to me with staves? It's player one. No. Here's what we wanted. David. Select again. In Luke, he is quoted as saying, I indeed baptize you with water, but one mightier than I cometh. Let's hear it, player one. That's correct. Choose again, player one. When Jesus saw this tax collector and first gospel writer, he told him to follow me. Player one. No, that's not right. Here's the correct response. Matthew. Now let's take a look at that $2,000 clue, shall we? In Judges, he said, With the jaw of an ass have I slain 1,000 men. Yes, player one. Right you are. You are moving on to Final Jeopardy, which will continue after these messages. Here's today's Final Jeopardy category. Military men. So, what's your wager? Each direction on the plus control pad represents a different response. Press a direction to select an answer. Our Final Jeopardy clue today is, books about this American are subtitled Warrior as Wordsmith and The Far Eastern General. Let's see your response. And that will set you back. The correct response is Douglas MacArthur.
Woo!
Congratulations, player one. You are our new champion. Thanks for playing, everybody. See you next time.